Welcome to Mala Yoga. This is another chair yoga session. Hope you guys are excited about it. We are going to start with the chair at one end of the mat, and we're going to stand next to the chair in Tadasana, mountain pose. So feet are together, we're engaging the quadriceps, the tailbone is nice and long, the collarbones are rolling back, spreading wide, and then the arms are at our sides, slightly active. I'm going to tuck the chin, gaze downward, and deepen the breath. Inhale, open the chest, lift the chest, and exhale, strengthen the legs. Wrap those thighs around the thigh bones. Inhale, breathe laterally into the ribs. And exhale, soften the tops of the shoulders and the skin of the face. Inhale, grow taller from the heels all the way to the crown of the head. And exhale, soften externally. Inhale, bring the palms together in front of the heart. Exhale, gently bow the head down to gaze within. Exhale, release your hands down. Inhale, spin the arms up. Look up, and as you exhale, turn your palms face down. Release your palms down by your sides. Inhale, lift the breath up overhead, and exhale, stand nice and tall, firm in the legs. Inhale, lift through the fingertips, and exhale, press the arms down to the sides. And we're gonna turn and reach for the back of your chair, grab hold of it, shoulder distance apart, and you're gonna step your feet right under your hips and create a right angle with the spine and the legs. So we're gonna draw those hips back away from the chair. Feet are hip distance apart, and we're lengthening back through the tailbone. And if the hamstrings are pretty stiff, then you're bending the knees. You can walk your feet forward so the weight of your body is distributed nicely through the feet, and lift the tailbone up. Lift the sit bones up, like you want to drop your stomach into your thighs. Root down through the four corners of each foot, and keep that tailbone reaching for the back edge of the mat as you hold on tight to the chair and you stretch through the sides of the shoulders, the sides of the chest. And now we're going to inhale and look up between the hands. Walk your hands down to the seat of your chair, and then straighten the arms and look up. Take a breath. Drop the shoulders back. And now we'll come into downward dog. So you're going to hold the edges of your chair, and we're going to walk the feet back a little further this time as you lower the chest. And you stretch back again through the hips by reaching your thighs back. This can be done with the knees bent or the legs straight. We're going to inhale and look up between the hands. Keep your arms straight as you shift your body weight forward, shoulders over the wrists, and you're in a high plank pose. And you're looking straight down so the back of your neck is neutral. We're reaching through the inner heels and up through the crown of the head. Pull the belly in and imagine pulling the sides of your belly toward the midline of your body. Now, upward dog, you're gonna lower your hips down toward the seat of the chair and lift the chest up. Push into the seat of the chair. Push into the feet and lift through the chest. And now tuck the chin and scoop your belly up and back and reach back into downward dog. Hips reach up and high and back. Head relaxes down. Inhale, look up toward the seat. Shift your body weight forward, shoulders stack over your wrists. You're in high plank. Now exhale, drop the hips toward the seat of the chair. Your chest moves through the upper arms into upward dog. And tuck your chin and reach back to downward dog. Exhale. Inhale, really ground into the hands and externally rotate the shoulders away from each other. Inhale, look up. Shift your shoulders over your wrists. Pause, high plank pose, belly in and up. And then hips down toward the seat of the chair, chest through the upper arms, upward dog. Tuck the chin, scoop the belly. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, look up, walk your feet toward your chair, and then stop and pause and exhale. Hands to the hips, tuck the tailbone under, inhale, and come on up. And we're gonna come into triangle pose, pointing one foot underneath the seat of your chair. Okay, toes toward that back edge of your mat. And then your back foot steps about your leg distance back, and the back toes in front of the heel at 45 degrees. And then we're gonna lift this front arm, and you're gonna hinge your ribs way, way out and reach for the back of your chair. Okay, now if you need to walk your foot forward or pull your chair back to be able to reach, then adjust your chair. You wanna find length through this underside of your body, through these ribs, and you wanna be reaching through that extended arm. Then this hand is on the hip, we're grounding into the heel behind us and lifting through the crown and the chest. Roll this back shoulder back, look back behind you, just a touch, and feel your breath. Now extend this top arm, look up, and then exhale, release the hand down to the seat of the chair, take the other hand down to the seat, and then you're gonna hop this back foot up about 3 inches and out to the side about 3 inches, so the back heel drops to the floor and your hips square, okay? And you're gonna look forward, take your hands to the seat of the chair, and then straighten the spine and straighten both legs. Again, hips are squaring, right? They're squared with the chair, spine is long, open the toes, root down through the feet. And you can stay here if you're really tight in the hamstrings. If you want a little more, come down onto your forearms, onto the chair. But keep looking up so that the front of the spine is extending. And you can stay here, or if you're pretty flexible, you can take your forehead down to the backs of your hands and rest the head on the chair. Keep the legs active, so your thighs are actively wrapping around the thigh bones. Your feet are grounding. Breath is smooth. Now inhale, look up. Start to walk your hands to the seat of the chair. Pause when you're about halfway up and exhale. Bend your front knee slightly and take your hands to your hips, and then inhale and lift yourself all the way up. Then you're gonna turn your toes and step back into mountain pose. Okay. Now the chair's gonna come out in front. I'm gonna actually do this from this side, I think, to show you. What we're gonna do is a spread apart pose. So you're gonna have your legs, your leg distance apart. I think this will work like this, okay? And hands are on the hips. You're gonna pigeon toe your feet, And then you're gonna lift the chest and hinge at your hips and reach out for the back edge of the chair, okay? Now lift your sitting bones up behind you, up, 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 or tailbone up. And then take your hands down to the seat of the chair. Now notice the spine is long, so I'm looking up, and the legs are straight. Now I'll turn so you can see from the side, same pose. I'm reaching with the spine. You can have your arms come down to the seat of the chair if you're pretty flexible, or you have your hands only on the chair and your arms up. And we're pushing back through the thigh bones. We're lifting the sit bones. And as the hamstrings start to open, over time, you start to then lower the head a bit and have your forehead rest right on the seat of the chair, and your arms are long, draped over the seat of the chair. And we're gonna pause here for at least 5 breaths. The legs stay strong. Your quadriceps are engaged. The sitting bones are slightly lifted. And then the action of the inner leg is pushing toward the outer leg. We're working the feet evenly by rooting down into the 4 corners of each foot. We're going to inhale and lift the face and look up. If your arms are on the chair, you're going to walk your hands back. If your hands are on, you're going to walk the hands just closer to your hips on your chair. Zigzag your feet closer together. Step the feet together. Exhale. Inhale, hands on the hips. Exhale. Inhale and come up. Now, the other foot is going to step under the seat of the chair because we're doing triangle on the other side. You're going to walk this other foot back about your leg distance, maybe a little shorter of a stance. Notice the front heel matches the back arch of the foot. The back foot's at an angle. Okay, and then this front arm reaches and reaches with the ribs for the back of the chair. Okay, you may have to adjust the chair so that you have this nice extension and reach through the underside of the ribs. This top hand is on the hip. We're rolling the shoulder back. If your neck feels kind of funky, it's usually best to look down or toward the center of the room. If the neck is fine, then you turn the head to continue that twist that's happening naturally in the spine. Strengthen the legs, press into the feet. Inhale, lift the top arm. Pause, exhale, ground downward through the legs. Exhale, lower this hand down to the seat of the chair. Walk this hand down to the seat. And now we're going to bend the front knee and step this back foot forward and out to the side until the heel drops and both legs can be straight. The spine is long, crown of the head is extended. We're drawing back through the hip of that front leg side. Squaring our hips with the chair. Nice long spine. Even if having your hands on the seat is a little too much and it's too, because your hamstrings are screaming at you, then walk your hands to the back edge of the chair and come up higher and ground into that back heel. Or if you're trying these options and you're not feeling a whole lot, you want more stretch, then take the forearms down to the seat of the chair. Keep those hips square. And then when you're ready to fully forward fold, rest your forehead on the backs of the hands or the forearm, and smooth out your breath. We're keeping both thighs engaged, grounding through the feet, and smoothing out the breath. Inhale, start to look up, walk your hands back under your chest to your chair, bringing your spine up. Bend the front knee slightly as you take your hands to your hips, and inhale and come up. And then you'll turn the toes and walk your feet back into mountain pose. Stand tall. Observe from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head. And then take this chair in front again for spread apart pose. So feet go wide, about your leg distance apart. You pigeon toe the feet, hands to the hips, lift the chest. Exhale, fold right at the hips, reach for your chair, and either have your hands on the back of the chair here, and you could even let the head float. You could take the head to the seat of the chair. This is really opening the shoulders. Or hands can be on the seat of the chair, forehead on the chair. And this is like a nice, gentle inversion. And forward fold. Especially if the forehead rests on the chair. It has this very nice cooling and calming effect for the inner body. The legs are definitely active. We don't want to dump our weight into our joints. So keep your thighs actively engaged. And again, root through the four corners of each foot. And then walk your hands back onto the seat. Lift your face, press into the hands, come up. Walk your feet closer together. Hands to the hips, inhale and come up. Good. Now a little bit more movement. If you feel pretty stretched and you're kind of like, I'm good, that is a good stopping point, especially since you've rested the forehead. If you want to continue, we're gonna do a little bit of balancing and a little bit more movement. So we're gonna have the hands on the seat of the chair. Shoulders are right over your wrists and your feet are right under your hips. Spine is long, and then we're gonna lift one leg straight back. Heel is in line with the buttocks, okay? This is warrior 3, where the hips stay square. So this standing leg, the outer hip is kind of moving up and back. And the other side usually has to drop down just to touch. So your pelvis is square. Reach back through the sole of that foot. And now go ahead, release that foot down, and now extend the other leg back. And imagine bringing the outer hip up and back, and then that leg that's floating behind you, that side of your hip has to drop down a little. Hips are square. And then we'll lower the foot, okay? Now we're either gonna repeat that, so you'll do the same thing, or you'll take your hands to the back of the chair, a little bit higher, and then extend that leg back. And reach back with the leg. You can have your ears right between the upper arms, or you can have your face looking up between the hands. We're doing our best to keep the whole body lengthening out away from the navel point. So you reach through the inner back thigh, the inner heel, And I'm kind of pulling my body weight away from the hands, even though I'm reaching forward through the hands. Whew, it's challenging. Bend the bottom knee as you bring that leg in. And switch sides. Hip square, warrior three. This builds a lot of heat in the body. It engages the upper back very boldly, especially if the head lifts. Deepen the breath. Bend the standing knee and lower it. Take your hands to the seat of the chair. Rest for a moment. And then hands to the hips and come on up. Okay. Now we're going to do half moon pose. We're going to step 1 foot forward and then 1 foot behind us. We're going to balance on this front foot. So you're going to reach your arm out, bend the knee, and we want to reach for the back edge of the chair. Then you lower your hand down to the seat of the chair. This side of the hip is going to spin open. So open up this top leg, okay? Heel in line with the buttocks or lower. And then top hand can be on the hip or extend it nice and high. Deepen your breath. Reach this sole of the foot away from your hips. Bend your standing knee, lower the back foot, inhale, pull yourself up. Good, and then the other side. Point your toe towards your chair. Open and lift this arm. Bend the standing knee, and then hinge your body weight over that foot. Grab the back of your chair. Start to float the back leg. Open that hip. Maybe the top arm lifts. So some of you may even have your hand on the seat of the chair. Some of you may even have the forearm on the seat of the chair. Or you're repeating the first side and you still have your hand on the back of the chair. You have to just play with it, see what's best for your body, where you can keep this chest nice and open as well as the back body. It's like you're in between two panes of glass. Bend the standing knee and inhale and come up. Good. Step the feet together, Tadasana. Okay, we're going to face the chair. We're going to go in and out of warrior three into like drawing the knee up to the nose. So it's going to look like this. Hands on the chair, shoulders over your wrists, and then one leg is going to reach back, okay? We're going to reach. I'm going to slide my chair forward, and I'm in kind of a low warrior three here. And then I'm going to exhale, shifting the shoulders forward over the wrists and pull the knee up to the nose. Then you're going to exhale, stretch back through the leg, lower your chest, and then bring the knee in. And back. And knee to nose. Exhale, stretch the leg back. Actually inhaling when I bring the knee up. Exhale, back. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Nice. And then you're just going to place that foot down on your mat. Reach your hips back. Stretch your spine for a moment. This is kind of your relaxing pose for a moment. And then we're going to extend the other leg straight back. You're stretching through the side chest. And then we're going to shift the body weight forward, shoulders over your wrists, and bring that knee up to the nose. And stretch back. Inhale, bring the knee up. Exhale, stretch the leg back. And keep going. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time. And exhale. Lower the foot down. Stretch back through the hips. Inhale, look between your hands. Walk your feet forward. Bring this chair back. And we're going to go into pigeon pose. So hands are on the chair, and we're going to bring one knee up to the seat of your chair. So the knee comes, but the shin is coming to the seat too. You can see I'm going to slide the knee forward, and then see how the ankle is on the inside of the thigh, doing pigeon pose. So I'm walking the back foot further back. I'm going to come kind of to the fingertips on the seat of the chair and open the chest. Then I'm going to exhale. Chest is going to lower. Forearms come to the back of the chair, and then we're going to rest the forehead right here on the backs of the arms. And drop the shoulders away from the ears. Smooth out the breath. Breathe into the outside edge of that hip where you may feel some tightness. Carry the breath there. Inhale, look up. Walk your hands to the seat of the chair. And then when you push into the chair, scoop your belly away from the thigh. And then stretch that foot back. We're coming back into that downward dog. Then we inhale, look up. Shift the body weight forward, shoulders over your wrists, and then you bring that other knee and the shin, the outer calf, to the seat of the chair, sliding it forward. Maybe you walk your back toes back a little further. Walk your fingertips to the seat of the chair, push into it, and open your chest. And then exhale into a nice passive pigeon pose, resting your forehead on the backs of your arms. Deepen the breath. Inhale as you lift your face, walk the hands to the seat of the chair, push into it, lift your belly, and step that foot back. Stretch into downward dog. And now we'll come into a relaxation pose. We're going to come down to the floor. If you have a hard time getting up and down off the floor, then don't come down. Instead, you would sit in your chair, relaxing the chin down, and you'll sit there for several minutes. If you're coming to the floor, what you want to do is you want to come down to your seat, and then notice that you're perpendicular with your mat, right? So like my shoulders next to the seat of my chair, I'm right at the edge of the chair, and then I'm going to come down onto this forearm, onto the mat, and watch how I kind of like scoot the hip under a little bit as I get closer to the chair. Then I come down onto my back, and then just rotate your calf muscles right to the seat of your chair. And this is just fantastic for calming the nervous system and regulating your heart rate and blood pressure. You can have your palms resting on your abdomen, which is very grounding. Really nice for reducing anxiety. Or you can take more of a Shavasana shape with your palms face up, whatever feels comfortable for this practice. And when you're ready, close down your eyes. Totally let go of your breath, your created breath. And release any gripping in your abdomen. And soften the corners of your eyes. And let the weight of your eyes drop back and back into the skull. Feel your lower jaw totally release. And just let go of all effort. And let your thoughts just come and go like you're watching passing clouds. And let the yoga do the work as you consciously relax in Shavasana. Gently deepen your breathing. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Draw the knees toward your chest. And then roll to one side. And give thanks for your blessings. And when you're ready, Use your arm strength to help you come up to a seated position. You can come to the seat of your chair or sit on your mat. Palms together at your heart. And thank you for sharing your yoga. Namaste.